Hello, good people of the internet. Welcome back. We're playing as Mia, and we are cross-examining Melissa. For some reason. Okay, so let's see. Wait a minute.
Turned around and tried to run away. But 10 years before she was stabbed in the back.
Is this all new? Wait, no. Yes?
That's new.
Okay.
And so is the one after it. The victim. Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Why you...
If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river.
There's just something wrong with this testimony. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him?
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense.
I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kid. That girl has a judge right on her finger.
Yeah, that's stuff we already read. Okay, I'm gonna save here. See what I can see. "10 yards. Wait. She wouldn't be able to see.
The killer was here and the victim was here. It
If
looks like the bridge is out, so...
Well, here's the thing. If Dahlia, or Melissa, sorry, is standing here, and they went 10 yards, she wouldn't be able to see them past the mountain.
Well, the killer was on this side, which means that she was here, which means she would probably have run back that way if she turned around to run. Which means that there's a giant ass fucking hole in the bridge.
Well,
so
whichever way you try to swing it, either A, she wouldn't be able to see her, or B, she wouldn't have been able to get past the bridge.
Right, so... Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry.
One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse.
You say there were 2 contradictions?
Oh no! I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then...
She would have hit a dead end.
You said 10 yards, but she couldn't even have ran 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side.
What does this all mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. And that's all there is to it.
Yeah. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court?
Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth?
Sneeze one away.
Yeah. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram.
What
did you say? Oh my god, if he pulls out a fucking, like...
Updated map.
Updated map where the bridge is repaired or some shit, I'm gonna deck him. Like, I'm gonna become me, I'm gonna hop over that fucking defense stand, run over and just fucking tackle and just punch him in the fucking face.
What are you referring to?
It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So, you're saying...
I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence.
Yeah. Right, like his humming just turned into an engine.
He fucking like in his fucking like judge's chair fucking gets on it.
Right.
Ha. That guy's good. Huh? What do you mean? He played it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward.
Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No, it wasn't your fault at all.
Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw.
Indeed. Alright, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
We're all on your side, Miss Foster.
There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We also have to remember that with him coming from the home and everything he did, that he's still on the whole path of like he has to get the guilty verdict because he has to win. It's not about finding the truth yet. He hasn't had that realization.
Right, because this is when he was younger and all that.
From before even the first game. So.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, sorry.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms, and then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Witnessing such a violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Ha. That's what I like to hear.
Alright, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please.
The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack.
Okay, now I think it's time to use the map again to show the mountain. She wouldn't have been able to see the car.
Yeah, right, because there's a fucking giant-ass cliff in her face.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge?
Actually, maybe she did fall.
Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude.
Well, young lady?
Of course she didn't fall down. That man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could.
Ha! We're one step too slow. And then, what did the defendant do after that?
You personally... Oh, sorry.
You personally witnessed that.
Yes.
Did anything strange happen when he did that?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off.
You mean this scar?
Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes.
Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why do you get so emotional all of a sudden?
Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us.
Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it?
Yes, but the mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there.
But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct?
There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks. They do love the cold, isolated places.
I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. And you are absolutely certain that it was my clan who was carrying the body?
Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as far as for his face...
You're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face?
Well, they were far away, and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw.
Excellent. You're remarkably honest for a young woman.
Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what?
I think I read his line wrong. I think it's supposed to say remarkably you're a remarkably honest young woman, not remarkably honest for a young woman. I just made the judge sound sexist for some reason.
I mean, honestly though, he's already kind of
yeah. Oh well.
And Edgeworth in this too. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, calling her a bimbo? Are you
right? Like what the fuck?
Like I'm not 100% certain what quaggy means, but I'm assuming it's probably another old-timey insult of some sort, particularly against women.
Maybe. I mean, I know
Maybe it just means ugly. I don't know.
It sounds sort of like a quagmire, maybe, and that's like a thing, right?
I don't know. The only quagmire I'm aware of is like that perv dude from Family Guy.
Right. I think a quagmire is. I could be wrong, but I think they named him Quagmire because a quagmire is someone who is like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No. Why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all.
Fucking weirdo. Oh, carry it over to the car. Well, I'm gonna save first, just to be on the safe side. But I'm pretty sure I got this right. Apparently that's wrong.
What were you trying to use?
The map, because she wouldn't have been able to see the car, right?
Right.
So what... I was certain of that. Maybe try this. Try that, because then you can kind of see the mountain off to the side. No. Well, shit. I was pretty confident for that, but now I don't know.
Quickly pick out, carry over the car. Okay. Okay, make sure the body stayed hidden. Couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge.
Well, wait. You could have just thrown her off.
Yeah, it's a fucking 40-foot drop down to the river where bodies are hardly ever recovered from. Why didn't you just shove her over?
Right, but do we have anything to... okay.
A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found.
Well, what was it?
Just take another look at the map of the area, and you'll see how. There's a river right below that bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall on are never recovered.
Oh!
In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you could bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water.
Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Furry, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river.
Also, if we're ordering, does anybody else want Taco Bell?
I'm feeling kind of, like those Dorito Loco tacos that they have now, you know?
The crunchy ones. I got it's like chip dust or something.
Yeah, it's got nacho cheese, and it's pretty good. So we're in the middle of court. Oh, sorry, I got the munchies, you know when you smoke a bit, and... Wait, I'm in court. Bailiff, scratch it for the record. Oh! Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems your assertion is without merit after all.
But what the witness claims is to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car.
That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us.
Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do was tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about?
Alright, I'll do my best.
Carried over to the car. Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
Okay, well this is new.
Well, the thing is, that's consistent because it looks like the thing is broken.
I still think she shouldn't have been able to see the car. It's really weirding me out that I couldn't press that.
Yeah, but maybe the cliff thingy that we see in the map isn't as high as we think it is.
Maybe?
That's. Also, I'm pretty sure she should be at least on the other side of that cliff because it looks like she's all right next to the bridge. Whatever. What did the man do then?
Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police.
And so that's when you called the police? You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes?
Yes, I'm 100% certain.
Okay, well that's the only new thing, so... Maybe now... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. You know what, instead of having to go through that, I'm just gonna load.
Okay. Jeez. Well, Miss Foster.
Okay, now I can use it.
It looks like you've done it this time.
Done what?
Made a crucial mistake.
A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. Oh.
Yeah, I was right. I just couldn't use it earlier for some reason.
Yeah. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see the car just fine.
I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. Much like the scarf. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff.
Oh!
Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but you still claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
No!
Order in the court. What is the meaning of this ballyhoo? Ballyhoo?
Ballyhoo?
Ballyhoo?
What the fuck? Ballyhoo?
Ballyhoo?
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in the stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes.
Mr. Judge?
What is it?
I think I must have remembered some of the things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute, you can't just say that. Miss Fay, no one on the face of the planet is perfect.
Yes indeed. Quite true. You know what they say? To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What? That's not fair! Huh. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando! Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair! Okay, kitten. You need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the car and a stolen trunk and hit the body there.
So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom.
Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm sure there were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. Melissa Foster. It looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. My question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her. Ha! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it will be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches.
Yes? What is it?
Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. I was the man on the prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open.
But he stole the car.
He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk.
No!
Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs.
Now's your chance. Oh.
Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is, the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself.
The timer.
Right. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture.
Meow.
What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please... Oh, sorry.
Would the defense please explain further?
Listen, this is a crucial point, kitten. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity.
Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Can I save? No. Well,
Naturally, the witness was standing right here.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Fay should do something herself. I should figure out where she stands on this case. Oh, don't worry. It's Drew was caught.
Okay, yeah, that's why I wanted to save.
Oh.
Okay. Save here. I'll take a point of damage, it's not that bad.
Yeah. It was what, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe she was where the killer was? No. Okay, well, maybe she was in the car?
Probably? Because that's the only other place I can...
Okay, so that's...
Naturally, the witness was right here, I think.
In the spot where the defendant's car was?
Yes, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Miss Fay? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. This kitten.
Yeah. Goodness.
This kitten over here.
She's been a silly little attention whore, but I love her.
If she put the body in the trunk at the time as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct?
Indeed.
Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly only looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim? Well, it could have been a spirit, right?
Miss Fay, don't waste this court's time with that kind of foolishness.
Anyway, I still maintain that the witness was in a different place at the time.
Are you certain?
Yes, I am certain, more or less.
Oh, come now, Miss Fay. Well then, please answer the question. Uh-oh, wait, is that wrong? Uh-oh.
That was incorrect?
I guess? Unless she was a victim. Or posing as a victim. Well, but that's... Okay, that's where the victim...
Miss Hawthorne was standing.
That's me.
Sorry.
That's okay, whatever. Yeah, I know, it's confusing. Order, order, order. Miss Fay, what on earth?
Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard of anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo?
I'm gonna guess he's gonna ask, and then I'm gonna present fucking Dahlia.
It's obvious, isn't it?
No.
It's your own witness.
What?
That's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster.
Me?
Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open.
It's the, of course...
Note saying Dahlia?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like, hey, that time... Sorry. Because of this. Because of that.
Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf.
Ah!
It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing the scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster?
No!
She faints?
I guess.
The fuck?
Fuck if I know, man. Where's Miss Foster?
She is collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Ha.
Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and prosecution are both to wait in the respective lobbies.
Yes, Your Honor. Understood.
Very well, this court is in recess. Ah, shit, how, to be continued, how much could be possibly left?
Probably the next thing, whatever it is.
Well, that's we'll have to end it for now.
Alright.
Well, in the next episode, we will finish up this trial.
Yep.
See you guys then.
Bye.